Hello again, this is Dr. Bob, and glad to have you back again today. We're going to continue our series on metabolic syndromes. There's quite a few different syndromes going on, but like I said before, the human population is in pretty bad shape. And with the diet that we have, the toxins that we're exposed to, and the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the processed, chemical, manufactured foods that we're eating is driven us to a point where genetically our bodies can't handle all these toxins. And they're all backing up in our systems. We're starting to see a lot of people develop metabolic syndromes. And one of the syndromes that I see all the time is something called fibromyalgia. Now, fibromyalgia is something that has kind of been ignored by the medical community. The doctors really don't quite know what to think about it. It comes with chronic fatigue, chronic pain in the muscles and the tissues and the joints. That you've got chronic brain fog. You've got poor mood. You have depression. Have trouble with memory. Trouble with just thinking things through. There's just a number of different things. You come up with body rashes. Now, fibromyalgia can roll around in your body like a bowling ball, and it can mimic a lot of different disorders. So many times, physicians, they'll look at you and they'll scratch their heads, and they really don't quite know what to think about it. And they almost, I've had people come to me and say, the doctors have almost accused them of making it up, just that kind of thing. Generally stated that the cause of these syndromes are really unknown, and for many years were thought to be just figment of people's imaginations. And we're looking at these and we're saying, well, what's causing this disorder? What is the underlying cause? Why are people feeling so sick, feeling so depressed, having such trouble concentrating on what they're doing, having so much body pain, and seeking medical help, and then the medical community ends up being all over the map trying to figure out what's wrong with them, because it kind of looks like this and it kind of looks like that and it sort of looks like this, but there's no definitive test to determine whether you have some of these syndromes and disorders. And so everybody just scratches their head, and they just like they pull out a dartboard and just start throwing darts at the map, saying, well, we think it might be this, we think it might be that. Most of the time what they end up doing is prescribing products that actually make things worse. They'll say, well, let's try to treat your depression. You're feeling a little depressed because of all this and you're feeling bad. Let's treat that. So off on antidepressants we go. Then we have folks that we see that they experience anxiety. Anxiety is a different disorder. It's almost like the constant feeling that something's bad's going to happen, just almost like you're walking through the woods and a bear is going to jump on you any moment. You have those type of disorders. Then they want to come in with, of course, the anti-anxiety disorder drugs, and that just throws gasoline on the fire. And then the next thing you're feeling a little bit worse, and now the pain starts to kick in, and they start out with a mild painkiller, mild analgesic, and the next thing you know, they're upping it and upping it and upping it. The next thing, you're taking the hard stuff, the oxycontins and oxycodons and whatever else you can find, and then they start to almost begin to think that you're a derelict, and you just really don't want to work. And all you're doing is showing up and making this stuff up so that you can get more drugs, because at this point you're addicted to this stuff, and you really don't know which way to turn. Of Of course, then they come on with the steroids, and if they can't figure something else, they'll hit you with those. And of course, that creates a whole other set of problems. It goes after your liver, it tears up your kidneys. It just keeps on going worse. The snowball just continues to grow and grow and grow. Nobody ever addresses possibly the cause of these problems. The cause of these disorders, I believe, are toxicity. Toxicity of the air, the water, the food, and the body's inability to metabolize these toxins. The body's inability to metabolize oxygen is due to this high acid load that we've all accumulated in our interstitial tissues and our cellular walls. The high levels of molds and funguses in our blood and our fluids and in our bowel. High level of parasites. Now, parasites aren't just, like some people think they're just worms, but they're not. Parasites are anything that draws from your body and doesn't give anything beneficial back. In other words, it's robbing you of either energy or nutrients or something in your body. Molds, funguses, flutes, worms, just to name a few. And then, of course, we're dealing with nobody's looking at the kidneys and their inability to filter fluids properly, or the liver's inability to detoxify the blood. Nobody's looking at that either. Everybody wants to look at the stomach and the colon, but nobody seems to ever want to look at what's going on in your small intestine. The small intestine in your body is where all the nutrients are broken down and absorbed into your body. And if your small intestines are high in acid, high in parasites, high in bad bacteria, you're going to have a serious absorption problem, nutrient absorption deficiency. You're not going to be able to absorb the nutrients that you really need for your body to operate properly. So we're dealing with some major issues here. We're dealing with O2 absorption and metabolism, acid retention, disruptions of metabolism. You're dealing with fermentation in the small intestines. You have too much fermentation. The fermentation alone throws off enough toxins to make you sick. And if that's in your small intestine, you're in big trouble. Digestive absorption deficiencies. You're dealing with reflux, gastritis, IBS or irritable bowel syndromes. These things progress and they turn into frustration, depression, and pain. The medical community, they scratch their head. They don't know what to do. You're all over the map. This hurts, this hurts, this hurts, that hurts. I got headaches, I got sleep, I got pain, I've got, you're just all over the place. And you think you're going nuts. Well, that's what goes on when you have syndromes, metabolic syndromes, because it's not isolated in one particular area. It's pretty much systemic. It's all over. So what do we do? How do we address this? Well, the best thing you can do is go find the best fibromyalgia doctor on the planet. Go look in the mirror. The best thing you can do is educate yourself on how your body works. Don't turn it over, your body and your life and your health, over to someone else. You take control. Learn how your body works. Take responsibility for it. The first thing that I would say to do is look at your diet. Look what you're eating. Look what you're putting into your body every day. Take consideration for all the acids that you're building up inside your body, not just in your stomach before you take an acid pill. I'm talking about the acids that are killing you from the inside out. The acids that are building up in your interstitial fluid, the acids that are building up in your fat cells, acids that are building up in your muscles, the acids that are building up in your blood. All these acids are taking a toll. They create such a high level of stress on your body that it even affects your emotions. It affects your ability to be calm and find your center in life. Toxic thoughts. You've got to learn to control your thought process. And that's something else that you need to do. If you develop what I call stinking thinking, then you're going to have a hard time getting yourself turned around. But if you'll watch these videos and you'll educate yourself and take time, you can become your own primary physician, and you can get your life turned around and going in the right direction. Now, what I ask you to do, if I'm very, very glad that you came back today. I really appreciate you coming and visiting. If you know people that have serious health syndromes and health problems, have them watch these videos. Have them come, share them with other people. Go ahead and if you want to ask me a question, you can email me at the link on this video, and I'll be happy to answer back as soon as I can. So this is the end of the video for today. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. God be with you. Peace be with you. And have a good day.